Hey there, Jen Blanchard here, Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, New Jersey Properties. We're in Basking Ridge, but we're ready, willing, and able to help you anywhere in the state, and believe it or not, even out of state. Today's question and answer video is about the difference between an assessment and an appraisal. There are several terms that get bounced around during the course of a real estate transaction. The ones that seem to be confusing to most people. And you know what? Not for nothing. It's okay to be confused because you don't do this every day. And in my opinion, the following statement to somebody who's not in the business would be an assumption that I would make as well. And that would be tax assessment, bank appraisal, list price, sale price. Those four things you would think would be the same, but they're not. It's not that the value of a house can't be estimated by looking at those things. All of those things need to be taken into consideration when you are pricing a home to sell. When somebody comes to look at your property to buy it, odds are they've already been on Zillow and they've been on Google and they have a general idea what the property is worth. At the end of the day, when you're selling your house, you choose a list price with my support, and that price may be right or it may not be right. So let's start with appraisal. The definition of an appraisal. An appraisal is a valuation of real property for the purposes of securing a mortgage or a home equity line of credit. Any type of a loan where your collateral is the home that you own. So that's an appraisal. It's a valuation for the purposes of securing a mortgage. Tax assessment, that is also a valuation. Tax assessment is a value attached to real property by the local government for the purposes of collecting tax. A Zestimate, that's your Zillow estimate. Now Zillow, that's kind of important only because it's such a popular website. The definition, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the webpage when you're on Zillow, they say that the definition of Zestimate, I'm going to read it. A home valuation model that estimates a home's market value using data from public records and user submitted data, taking into account home facts, location, and market condition. Just the mere fact that there are so many words associated with that definition compared to appraisal and assessment leads you to believe that it's probably the one that is the least accurate or has the largest margin of error. So what does all of this mean and why is it important? So it is important to you as a seller to understand what those values are, only so that we can use them when we're negotiating, because they're public record values. So the people who are coming to look at your house, they're doing research, especially if they think they're going to like it. They're doing research prior to even coming, which means they've looked at the tax assessment. They've looked at the Zillow estimate. People are definitely looking out there at all of the values. So Zillow in particular, buyers tend to like, but the Zestimates, even Zillow itself acknowledges that there's a pretty big margin of error there because nobody's walked through the home, even to compare it to other homes in the area. So that's why it's important to understand the public record values and what the differences are between the appraisal, the assessment, and the Zestimate.